Okay, welcome back to the next episode of the Malle Mile Racer. Today what I'm going to be concentrating on is getting the under tray made. I'm just going to fit a flat sheet underneath. I've already made a couple of these brackets, just cut them out of a piece of angle, trimmed the tops down and drilled a hole in them. I've got 5 of them pre-welded inside the frame. So all I've done is I put something straight underneath, put them down so they sat flat, welded across the top, so that they're all sitting perfectly aligned with the underside there. Then I've got a sheet of steel. It's already been roughly cut. What I did is I held this up underneath, marked the holes from the brackets that I'd done, took it off, drilled the holes so that it matched, bolted it up, drew round the edge, which gave me the rough shape, cut it out, but it's still not at its final fitting stage. I want it to fit so it's just on that very sort of like peak of the tube, if you like, but trying to get that measurement exact is something that's been sort of playing on my mind for a little while. So I've come up with an idea of what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover this entire surface with just some masking tape. I'm going to try putting some ink on the underside of this tube here, put the under tray back up, clamp it up, get it up nice and tight, leave it sit for a little while, then I'll take it off, and hopefully if the ink hasn't transferred onto there, I hope that the indentation of the tube has, so I can then mark it out, cut it out, turn it to a scribe line and trim it all up and make it look pretty and get it sitting underneath there. Like I said, this is stainless, a bit of stainless that I found, so I'm not sure if I'm going to paint it at all actually. I might just give it a bit of a brush up and just leave it nice and shiny on the underside. Not that many people will see it, so, but yeah, cool. Let's crack on with that then. Okay, so now I've got that covered. In my drawer I've got these old silver ink pens. I don't know if you remember these, but I know these will dry quite slowly, so if I quickly, as quick as I can, get that coloured in on the underside, hopefully it will transfer across onto there. Actually, that's going to take quite a bit of time. Maybe aerosol will do it quicker. That's much better. Right, so now I've got all those bolts in, what I'm going to do now is just see if I've got some clamps just to get it on the bits in between, so I know that it's pressed up nice and tight all the way around. I suppose all that's left to do now is just see if that paint will dry, see if it will make some kind of indent on there hopefully, and then we'll just be able to go around with the Stanley blade, cut the edge off, create a scribe, and then trim that up. But yeah, let's give that 10 minutes to dry. Okay, I suppose best get this undone and hope to God that it's made some kind of a mark that we can follow. Okay, it's not perfect, but we can see some kind of markings. I'm kind of hoping from that we might be able to get a bit of a template, because that squidge line there, that's going to be where the frame was sitting exactly. So I think if I trace that out with a Stanley blade now, I should be able to get some kind of line coming out there. Wicked. Okay, so I kind of scribed round with the Stanley blade and the ruler just to get the lines nice and straight. Where they come to a point just here, as I cut it, I'll just run round and smooth that off. Same all the way round, trimmed it up. As I went round with the Stanley blade, I've gone hard enough so that it's actually scribed the surface of the metal. Didn't really get any impressions down here, but then it wasn't clamped down here either because this was underneath the tank. So I'll redo that once I've sort of trimmed it up, but I'll sort of cut in here, so I'll leave this area to do at a later date. But I'm now going to go around and trim all this up, and hopefully that's going to sit in around about the right place. So yeah, take it outside, get the angle grinder fired up, let's get this cut out. It's trimmed up, I've bolted it back in, so I think now we should get the look from underneath and see how well it did actually work, whether the process was successful or not. Oh, everything's cracking, my knees are cracking, but I am very impressed with that fit. It's just on the curve of the tube there where I wanted it to be. I'll call that a job done. Once I've replaced all these Allen head bolts, so they're more like those ones with the domed ones. They look a lot nicer. Clean up the stainless, but yeah, that fits so much better now. There's no lip, or there's no edge like it was hanging out last time. All I'll do is I'll just have to redo from this bit forward to here. But yeah, one under tray. I know it looks like there's a gap there, but it's actually just a shadow in the metal that is touching there all the way through. Job jobbed.